those who cannot fast Ramadan, those who cannot fast due to health reasons, should calculate it. I mean, those who are keeping it will pay their fitrah separately. But those who cannot, please calculate it separately and make a payment to a needy person. You can say hello to a man who says something bad to you. This is not perceived as a sign of weakness. The man says that it is understood that he is fasting and has shown virtue. He says, okay, so he doesn't take it personally. The month of Ramadan is really a booty in this sense. We actually had a month of conversations with friends, and we took a verse from the Quran that would correspond to each program. We enlarged it, we shared it. So the US at the beginning of Ramadan and the US at the end of Ramadan are not the same us. We have changed and differentiated a lot.
Hello everyone from Istanbul School. Dear viewers, we wish you all a happy holiday. Today we will talk about Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Fitr. Our guest is Prof. Dr. Şaban Ali Düzgün. Hello, Hoja.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
We have come to the end of the month-long Ramadan. I asked how you are at the beginning of Ramadan. We have completed our 30-day fasts. We have finished the month of Ramadan. We have finally reached the holiday. Now let me ask you again how you are.
I think we should ask this question to all our friends who are watching us. How were they in the first program of Ramadan? How are they now? There is a joy and happiness that comes from completing a Ramadan. We are good in this sense too. We actually had a month of conversations with friends, and we took a verse from the Quran that would correspond to each program. We enlarged it, we shared it. So the US at the beginning of Ramadan and the US at the end of Ramadan are not the same us. We have changed and differentiated a lot.
Let's say it's a good thing it's not.
Fortunately, we have grown in this sense. We are happy in that sense too. We have an opportunity to share and magnify this joy. Bayram is an opportunity in that sense. You know it as Eid al-Fitr. It's called Eid al-Fitr. It is also called so in Arabic. Scholars have not been able to agree on what the root of the word we use as holiday in Turkish is, where it comes from. I mean, those who go to Kashgali Mahmud's Divane Lugate Turk, there are words used there, but we are not sure. Did it come from a Persian language or did it come from the original Turkish? But here we are sure. After all, there is an equivalent of joy. There are scholars who say that the word it in Idul Fitr comes from avdet, return, and they say that they call it Ijit because every joy, that is this joy annually, meets with those who fast again and again, which is a very good, reasonable explanation. The word in the word iftar, which we use with that fitrat we call our fitrat, and the word iftar in the word iftar, the word fitir in the feast of fitir, the word in the word fitre, the word fitra, all come from the same root. This means that human beings have a nature. When he behaves in accordance with that nature, there is an iftar table that he will reach. 1 fitr is 1 month of that struggle, because for some friends it is a struggle. Fasting can be difficult for them. Despite this, we all know those who keep it. They are around everyone.
There is actually a struggle with the soul.
There is a struggle. Everything that is halal is in front of us. In fact, let's remember how we were before iftar. I mean, we are thirsty, we are very hungry, everything is in front of us. But it is an incredible discipline. This is the only way it can happen, and millions of people are in the same state, and you know it. The sharing of that feeling, the collective experience of that feeling, is a very interesting thing, not only in your own geography. There are 5 minutes until the call to prayer. Everything that is halal is in front of us, and there is an Islamic geography of 1.5 billion people, a Muslim world, so it is waiting. In fact, it is a collectivity where the joy of being bound to a will which I call an incredible discipline, that is, the divine will binds everyone to itself, is experienced together at the same time. No power in the world can realize this in any way. Really, that collective, I remember when I was a child. When I was praying in the congregational Friday prayers, it was incredibly impressive that everyone was suddenly bowing and prostrating. I mean, you do this at the same time, and at the same time at noon, at the noon prayer, hundreds of millions of people praying on Friday do the same. Therefore, this collectivity that makes Eid a holiday, that is, the sharing of emotions, they are experiencing the same thing together. You go to the Eid prayer, and there you see the awe that is experienced when you say the takbirs. That pleasure is called the state of Ved. When this is experienced very intensely, an emotion turns into Ved. It is called ecstasy in psychology. It is a state of ecstasy. People become ecstatic in that state of Ved. The state of Ved comes from the same root as body, being, and conscience. So it is a sharing that will make anyone with a conscience tremble. Now, this sharing that makes Eid joyful, we are not talking only about Turkey. The whole Islamic world is experiencing the same feeling. The second thing that can be added is related to this fitrah, to fitrat. Those who had the means and health got together, fasted, and came here. What that Ramadan brought, it is said that the autumn rains of Ramadan, when it rains, it washes away the dirt and rust that had accumulated until that autumn and makes the streets and soil spotless. Ramadan also makes the person who fasts, just like the autumn rain cleans the surroundings bright and clean and purifies them from their sins, he says. A good Ramadan. Or again, they start from the word Ramadan. Ramadan is the cleaning of some things with the heat given by a very strong sun. Heat also melts and destroys, for example, microbes. Something similar happens there. In every case, we know this. Ramadan is a month-long soul-searching, a month-long purification struggle. The person is aware of this. He knows what he is doing because worship is not just fasting. The moment we fast is a part of the time between imsak and iftar, which varies from country to country, 12 hours, 16 hours, 20 hours. But our 1 month process is worship. In other words, this is a big culture. It is not part of worship, but a brother of ours who drinks alcohol is coming up in the month of Ramadan. He does not drink during Ramadan out of respect for Ramadan. He does not drink whether he fasts or not. I mean, I wish this could continue even after Ramadan. This beautiful and meaningful awareness could continue. This consciousness, this awareness should continue. But the fact that it is a month of worship has an effect on him. This is also very nice. So 1 month, the month we call the Sultan of the 12 months, the word Sultan is a person who has dominion over us. The Sultan of 12 months means the month that gives you a month of discipline in a way that will dominate the other months and spread to them as well. In that month, I fast myself, I benefit myself. I give my fitrah, I benefit those in need. I hold my tongue when I get angry, I hold my tongue when I get angry. I benefit the people around me. For example, I was going to hit someone when I was angry. People have such abilities. But I say I'm fasting, I protect myself. Now, such a discipline, every day for a month, he lives this discipline every day. It is said that a behavior has to be repeated at least 3 times for it to become ingrained in the character. So let's say you are being generous and you give me pocket money. Hodja, let me give you pocket money today. Let me make you happy with this behavior.
May Allah grant peace, teacher.
As a lady, it is generally expected from the elders to give you pocket money. No, sir, it is not like that. Everyone can give pocket money to everyone. Now, when you give this pocket money once, you are not considered generous. It has to be embedded in your character. We need to see this virtue from you at least 3 times so that we can call you generous, generous. Now, how many times do we have this chance in Ramadan? 30 times. 30 times. Therefore, there is something that our culture teaches us to change our character, our habits. A person can build a second nature for himself. There is something that philosophy and theology teach us. A person who cannot share with others can learn to share this month. Fitrah is for this. Please let people calculate and write it down. The minimum. Let them take it into consideration, but no more than the minimum. There is no limit. They should definitely give their fitrah to those in need. Those who cannot fast Ramadan, those who cannot fast due to health reasons, should calculate it. In other words, those who fast will give their fitrah separately. But those who cannot, please make a separate calculation for it and make a payment to a needy person, both for themselves and for the other party. This charity, fitrah, zakat, whatever you call it, please let it come out of us as a reward for our loyalty to Allah, to our humanity and to our health, to the fact that we have come here in good health. Let us not forget that the return of these favors and help will be great.
My teacher, this process that we call Ramadan is actually a great opportunity for a person to discipline themselves during the month of Ramadan. We say that 30 days seems like a short time, but on the other hand, there is actually a behavior that is repeated every day for a very long time. Whether a person fasts or not, from the moment they enter that culture, that atmosphere, they start to discipline certain things about themselves. What path should they follow to change their character by taking this as an opportunity? What kind of behavior should be exhibited?
It is very beautiful. Today is actually a day of joy, of rejoicing and of sharing joy about today's holiday. One can make an accounting like this. One can make an accounting of oneself. Before Ramadan, I had habits that I liked very much in myself. Before Ramadan, I may not have been aware of it myself, but I had habits, behaviors, attitudes that people around me complained about me in some way. How much have I been able to improve and change them? The simplest, let's say we are a person who gets offended and sulks very easily. I don't talk to many people. I don't go to their rooms. I don't visit their houses. I don't call them. A month passed. Ramadan passed. And many verses came to our minds and ears. Many hadiths came to our minds. Many hadiths came to our ears. Many sermons came to our ears. We saw many beautiful things in our eyes during Ramadan. All these things were carried from all sides to my sensory data, to my mind, to my intellect. Normally, every little touch can cause really big changes and transformations in my life, like a butterfly effect, by me preparing a ground to create a multiplier effect. A beautiful word has a different effect on you and a different effect on me. Why? Because I take that word, multiply it, magnify it, think about it, account for it. And when there is such a thing, for example, a Muslim cannot stay sulking with a Muslim for more than 3 days. This opens a wound in the heart of a person. It leaves a void. It harms both oneself and the other. That's why it is so important on this beautiful day on Eid to put aside anger and resentment and create an atmosphere of peace and brotherhood. Because hatred in the heart prevents love. I know the hadith, I have heard it. Now this may not have any effect on you, because let's say there is no one you are offended with. But I have offended or hurt someone, and that has a big impact on me. Then sit down and let the greatness stay with me, brother. I'm pressing the buttons, I'm calling. Happy Eid. I'd like to sit down and have a cup of tea and coffee. Now look, this has a big effect on me, so what is the key word? Accounting. Everyone will do their accounting if there is something negative in our lives. How can we remove it? And how has Ramadan affected us in this way? It's not necessarily being disciplined by fasting. So let's think of Ramadan as a whole. It is not just fasting. Ramadan is a month of worship. And it is not just a month of fasting. We read the Quran there. Mukabets are read. I restrain myself. We have just said, when I get angry, the verse says, they are such people that when they get angry, they swallow their anger. Swallowing anger is easier in Ramadan because there is a reason. So you can say to the person who says something bad to you, brother, hello. This is not perceived as a sign of weakness. The man says, understood, he is fasting and he showed virtue. So he says, okay, he doesn't press him. In this sense, Ramadan is a booty, a real booty. because it is a month that tests us in every aspect, disciplines us, and helps us become a better person. And this makes a very important contribution to the soul and the heart. It can transform both spiritually and mentally. Even if you are going to get angry at an employee saying, "Why didn't you finish your work?" When they say, "Fasting made me very tired," you can tolerate them by saying, "Okay, I understand." In fact, Ramadan spontaneously creates small little behaviors in everyone. The person himself, the question you are asking about that effect, that is a character, a temperament, a habit, an attitude, a way of thinking and behaving. Each of these has its own definition, its own limits. Over time, people realize these limits and come to the point of overcoming them. Ramadan is an opportunity at this point. It is a month when everyone reviews themselves, realizes their shortcomings, and takes a step towards becoming better. This is not only a form of worship, but also a process of personal development. In order for such a change to take place, one has to know how much one has listened to others or to the message, to the Quran in Ramadan, how much one has opened the Quran. He has read it. We have the tradition of Muqabili, right? Ramadan starts. It is very nice. When I enter the mosques, especially our elderly people open that table and put the Quran on it. I love it when he reads like this in awe, because I see the awe in that man there. He is very happy. Put a translation of it next to it. Read it in Turkish as well. We open the message and we want to understand what the message says. Then take notes from there. Have a white piece of paper with you. This verse is very interesting, he says. Take that verse from there. Make it a purposeful reading. Let it be a purposeful reading. This way, at the end of a month, we can look at the accounting of Ramadan. If I took a verse for each day, for example, what did this verse say that directly touched my life, that affected me, that changed me? This is something we can do for ourselves. I mean, how can I get out of that routine in this sense? Otherwise, there is a togetherness, a beauty, going to Tarawih, continuing the Mukababas. Iftar tables are set. Maybe he intends to do this. If he can, if there is a student dormitory nearby, let me take 10 or 15 students from that student dormitory for iftar one day at home. Let's share a happiness together. I remember when I was a student, we went to an iftar. I mean, he invited me. I don't remember who it was, but we went to an iftar when I was a student at university. Look at the event itself. We experienced many things in Ramadan, but that one stayed in my memory because we were very happy. I mean, there were uncles there. We ate our food, then we prayed. We did the Tarawih. Now, people can take life out of its routine a little bit with such small changes. And when the feast actually comes to the end of Ramadan, there will be a spontaneous joy when they say, "Aha, what a busy month we have had." So it's a spiritual fulfillment, and it also reinforces the peace in people, because we see that everything has a meaning, that every behavior serves a purpose.
In fact, it is a period in which time is very abundant, a time that seems like a month but feels like a very long time.
Time is multiplied and blessed by what you do. Otherwise, time will pass over you and you will not even realize it. It will pass by.
Okay, teacher, thank you very much.
I would like to thank all my friends, the people who were with us during Ramadan on the Istanbul School YouTube channel, those who were able to be with us, and those who could not be with us. I wish them all good health, peace, success, and happiness in the coming Ramadan.
I would like to congratulate you on behalf of our audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I thank you.
Dear audience, today we talked about Eid al-Fitr. We wish you all a very happy Eid. See you in other broadcasts. Goodbye.